Hello, I'm the official narrator. My job is to look through the first page of Google, review the nicknames provided by the internet, and then go over my recommendations at the end. As you can see right here, where I belong, on the first page of Google, fuck yourself, Gudra. We've already covered this episode before, but it says that we covered this episode December 18th of 2019. Arceus was in development, but it was definitely not known to the public. That would have been like, what, not long after Sword and Shield came out? Isn't that crazy? That was like 5 years, that was 5 years ago almost. Not technically, but you know. Yeah, so that was a long time ago, back when the channel was a virgin and new, and I was still trying to figure some shit out. It's been a long time, and I figured a lot of shit out. So anyway, we're redoing this episode because now we have Hisuian Arcanine, so we're going to see how the internet has changed over the course of 4 to 5 years. Amaterasu if female. Helios if male. Amaterasu is going to be in reference to Okami, also probably Japanese folklore. I don't know. I want to say there might be some truth to that. That's one we see quite a bit. I don't really have anything extra to say about it. I mean, I feel like there's better options out there, but also my mind is blank. I'm like, what other white fire dog is there? And the answer is, I can't think of a fucking one. But just know that it's one commonly associated with quadruped fire types. So my nerd ass saw this and immediately thought of Mortal Kombat, but I was like, is that the right name though? I'm not sure. And Google says Naruto, and I don't know if maybe that's the dog as well. But also, if you specify, it does show up as Mortal Kombat. Fun fact, it actually was not canon until Mortal Kombat 11. It showed up in the cartoon as a thing for Nightwolf, but then later they're just like, you know what? Fuck it. So the Mortal Kombat part of me is fine with that, but also I'm sure the anime weeb out there is probably happy about that as an idea too. It doesn't really have anything to do with fire, but it has everything to do with dog wolf, I guess. For reference sake, the page is like all the way over there. So that's why it looks like this, and I'm not gonna do that. So you're just gonna have to deal with seeing whatever you can see, and that's all you're gonna get to see. Anyway, wildfire is one that's very common. Usually, I would say, anytime I think of wildfire, I'm gonna think of Arcanine. It's a fire type, and it's just got that design on it that feels like it fits. Maybe it's this entry right here that makes me think of it as well, but I definitely feel like it's there. You can throw it onto any fire type you want to. It's just when I think of it, that's the first thing. Arcanine's the first one that comes to mind. Calvin and Hobbes, orange tiger with stripes. It's very mischievous. That's not a tiger, but I understand. Krakatoa for volcano. Just throwing it out there, there's nothing wrong with it. I just personally hate it and am fatigued by seeing the same volcano names for the last 5 years. There's wildfire spelled like a normal way. RK9, that thing that you're going to see a bunch. I understand you can kind of shorten it. You know, why do people do this for Arcanine, but no one ever puts RKS for Arceus? We could have seen that the entire thing. Do you know that's the reason Silvali's ability is RKS system is because of Arceus? That confirms it's pronounced Arceus, not Arceus. Hot dog, I was waiting for it. It was there. The joke's obvious. Do I have a problem with it? No. Do I think it's great? No. Because Firefox is resistant to bugs. There's an extra joke in there that I kind of like. But anyway, that's probably better for Delphox, or Ninetales, or a fox. Pantera is a band, and I want to say it's like some Indian word as well, if I remember right. Native Indian, not Asian Indian. Firebolt is what I have my Talonflame nicknamed, because it's fast and it's fire. Arcanine's pretty fast, I suppose that works. Has extreme speed for a move. Cinnabird was something I acknowledged at the very end of this episode right here. What is this link I have? And, I mean, it's nice. I like the pun because it's Cinnabun plus burn, so that's nice. But I don't know what I'm trying to say. I guess after 5 years, the things that amused me before amuse me less now. Confession, I also use Zippo. But it wasn't because of this. It was also just because I thought about Zippo the Charmander from the anime. And it wasn't until, like, after I named Arcanine that I was like, oh, it's named Zippo because it's flame like a lighter in its tail and it doesn't go out. That's clever. So it felt really stupid, and I was like, well, I need to get rid of this Arcanine and give it a better name. Because you can't change the name of your own Pokemon if you move it to a different game. Fuck yourself. I ended up doing Molotov for something, which I actually forgot I even did, but that's like an nickname as well. Zippo's great for like, you know, Charmander and then like nothing else. It's been a while since Ranker has given our computer chlamydia, but here we are. Iroh's the only thing right now that I see that's worth acknowledging, and even then I feel like that's a bit of a stretch because I feel like there's... Not that I have a problem with it, but considering Iroh's nickname is the Dragon of the West, maybe a dragon might be a better choice for it. It's gotten to a point where even hitting the X button, clicking it, doesn't actually make the ads go away. That's how much of gonorrhea Ranker is. Anyway, Summer we've talked about in the past before, so I'll mention it here just to say, hey, that's it. I guess I'll acknowledge Tigger as well, since we technically acknowledged Hobbs. So yeah, there's another tiger-esque pattern for you for your dog. It's not a tiger. I guess I'll highlight Mars. It's going, for me, my mind goes to planet motif. I know that whatever nerd put this on here is probably thinking of gods and shit. Just cliched as fuck. Just acknowledging it. Kind of mad that Ranker is choosing to do Growlithe as well, because I have to fucking do this because their main thing is doing this and won't let me, so that's very annoying. Charles Barkley was one I acknowledged in the original episode. Apparently I thought that was great, but I also thought, that doesn't fit. And it doesn't. So, nice joke, but doesn't fit. Can't use that nickname anyway. Thumbs down. Too big. Won't fit. What sucks is I'm not even upset about the names here, as much as I am just upset that I'm on Ranker, and it's being Cancer. So it's like, Scooby's, you know, one I'll acknowledge, but I want to not talk about it because I'm on Ranker. Nala is in reference to Lion King. A reminder, this is a dog. Growlithe is referred to as the puppy Pokemon, but they chose to be weirdos with its design and give it fucking tiger stripes. Anyway, we reached the bottom. I mean, even the original, I guess I didn't look at these. But we can go ahead and start, I suppose, because that's Hisuian, and that's what we're about to do. Fuck it. Alright, we're going to look at that stuff, and then we're going to switch to Hisuian Arcanine, because now Hisuian Arcanine exists, but even in the original episode, it seemed like I was kind of meh on it, and I didn't find anything significant. Actually, before I do that, we'll look at the spreadsheet. For whatever reason, the spreadsheet's really weird, and now it does this, and that's like way too big and claustrophobic for me, so I gotta do that every single time I open it. The real false legendary. Rufus is a very common dog name. It is. I feel like the common dog name I recall as a kid was Shadow because it's so edgy and angsty. Rufus is a terrible name. Rover is a common dog name, and it's, I wouldn't say common, but it's definitely a dog name, and it's like the worst dog name. Whoever first named their dog Rover must have hated their dog. Anyway, the actual comments here on the video, which I didn't mention this, but this video right here will be linked in the description below and unlisted from here on out. From now on, if you Google it, this probably won't exist on Google anymore. We gotta hope our new video shows up on Google, but this will still exist, just only in the hearts of everyone who has the link, which will be down below. Hope is fine, because we've talked about the whole Bayonetta binding of Isaac virtues thing, so that's fine with me. I don't really have any objections to that. The Dodger Dogs. Alright, well, sports teams are a thing that's like come up every few times, like Baltimore Ravens. So I suppose if you want to do that, that's an idea for you. And just because I'm really curious about this, and he says, you're amazing, you're so unknown. At this point, on December 18th of 2019, how many subscribers did this channel have compared to now? Now, unfortunately, this doesn't actually say when this comment was posted. I wish that it did. I can, you know, put my thing over that and it'll show me when this was, but even then you can also see this. I don't know, sometimes it shows it, sometimes it doesn't. But this doesn't actually tell me when it was posted. But at the time of posting that video, I had a record 9 subscribers. That's like 2 months in, also according to this, because I started in October. So I had 9 subscribers and 600 views at the time of posting this original video. Now, according to this, I have 1,200. Poochie is a character from the Mario series, Yoshi's Story, the little dog that Yoshi's friends with, also in Yoshi's Island. I don't know if I've ever seen that as a nickname before, and I don't entirely hate it. I hate it a little bit because it's a terrible name, but I don't hate it because Yoshi story. For a Pokemon, it's a bad nickname. For Yoshi, it's fine. It works. I technically did see Tinders somewhere else, but I was like, ignore it. But since Tinder has shown itself again, fine, whatever. That's a thing that has been haunting me since the Galarian Moltres episode, ironically enough. I like Goldilocks, and I'm specifying this because this is for Shiny Hisuian Arcanine, which is rock and has gold. Couldn't really apply that on too many. I think maybe Alolan Golem might work for that one. But sure, we've seen Goldilocks plenty of times, but Goldilocks? That's a new one. Colonel Mustard. That's what I have my Pom-Pom Oricorio named. Hot Mustard. Crypto's the name of the super dog. Yeah. We've seen Crypto in the past for something before, but I don't recall who. And I feel like it was something recent too. You know, I don't think we saw Clifford, but at least Clifford makes sense because he's Big Red Dog. He's kind of orange too, but you know, I can't really tell the difference between orange and red apart. What color is this button? I actually don't know. It looks like orange to me, but it could be red and I would believe you. Tony the Tiger was a thing I thought about for Electabuzz when I was a kid. And I like hate myself for it because I think it's a shit nickname. But I feel like at least Electabuzz makes a little more sense than... I mean, I suppose they make equal sense, but still. Tony's also just the name of just some doofus asshole that you probably go to work with. You probably know a Tony or two in your life. Probably idiots, aren't they? This is also in reference to, what do you call it? A shiny Growlithe here, so this one's going to be gold. I don't usually specify shiny things because I think it's stupid. But I do want to acknowledge Goldfinger because that's a good name, and that's actually what I have my Goldengo named, based off the James Bond villain. And then also you could use that for Shiny Stakataka if you're ever that fortunate. Poop! Alright, well, that's the bottom for Hisuian Arcanine, which is funny because it brought up these links right here, which I already looked at before I typed in Hisui. There's the original Reddit. And then here's the one that was down here, but now these two switch places, so that happened. But then I also clicked on this one, which is the updated one included in the Hisuian form. And even still, I feel like after 5 years, I still don't have a fucking name for my Arcanine. Isn't that some shit? Did we come across some? Yeah, a lot of it was just, at best, gotta be honest. Nothing really gravitated me. There was a lot of things that it's like, you know, you expect, like Wildfire, like Hot Dog, like Arcanine, Cerberus, and it's just, they're just all so meh at best. There are other fire dogs out there, like Houndoom, that you could look for reference sake. There are other dogs out there, like, I don't know, but they exist. Boltund. I can only think of the Paldean stuff that I haven't done. Like, Evil Dog, Fairy Dog, Ghost Dog. That's 3 dogs right there. Entei, there's a fire dog. He's a lion technically, but fuck it. So just know that, you know, there's other options out there for you as far as nickname potentials. There's an entire playlist dedicated to fire-type Pokemon that you could look through for other fire-based nicknames. And there may or may not be some dogs on there. Do I promise to make a dog playlist? Probably not. But maybe one day if I'm bored and the channel's done and I just feel like it, I might do it. We do have comment suggestions. Arcanine is the winner of Who's the Most Popular in Hisui. Arcanine has 3 comment suggestions. King Caesar. I saw Caesar earlier, but it seemed like it was trying to make a corruption of Shisa or something like that, so I didn't fucking know or care. Yeah, King Oshisa, that. And this has Godzilla references. I don't feel like the one that I saw was Godzilla reference, but maybe I just bitched out of it and didn't finish reading the comments, so I don't actually know. But know that I saw Caesar in there and chose to be a bitch and ignore it. Tough, homonym for tough or hardness. And then Tough Puppy, which, I mean, that was the first thing I thought about wasn't there like a cartoon like Tough Puppy or something like that? So that one's a good one for Hisuian. Fuji Mustard, if shiny. We did see Mustard, and we did see quite a few people talking about shinies. Yeah, I don't know, it's weird. Arcanine's like a very popular Pokemon, so you'd think it'd have like... And it's not that it didn't have suggestions. It did. It just didn't have any suggestions that won my heart over. And if that's not your goal, what are you even doing here? No, for real. Any other ideas and suggestions you have, feel free to put in the comments below. Let us know what you'd use, what you'd recommend. You can distinguish the difference between regular and Hisuian Arcanine, but I feel like 90% of them would probably be interchangeable. The only way I think you could not interchange them is if you felt the need to use something like Goldie Rocks or something to emphasize its rock typing. Then yeah, maybe don't use that one. But otherwise, I think the idea of big dog is still kind of there in both Pokemon, so specify it if need be, but I don't think it's entirely necessary. And more importantly, just a reminder, sometimes you can take a lame nickname, pair it with another lame nickname, and those two lame nicknames become a little bit stronger. So if you have something that works for one Arcanine and then another Arcanine, and you pair them together, it might just be less shit. You could call one ketchup and the other mustard, especially if the other's shiny. Instantly turns it into a little bit better, but also maybe hard to use two Arcanines on a team.